Live from our community. News Channel 13 Live at 5 starts right now.
Good evening and thank you for joining us on our News Channel 13 YouTube channel, WNYT.com, our app, and our Facebook page. I'm Rachel Teedy. Steve is off tonight. Now, you might remember the name Dennis Drew. He killed two area teenagers when he was driving drunk on the Northway back in 2013 and seriously injured two others. Then he was accused of impersonation when he gave a false identity to police in March. He was ordered released from jail today. Dan Levy was in the Saratoga County courtroom when that controversial decision came down, and he joins us here in the studio with reaction. Dan.
Rachel, good evening. Stunned, shocked, disappointed, and angry. Those are just some of the words expressed late today outside the courthouse by family members of Dennis Drew's victims. Some of the other things that they were thinking are not appropriate for TV. Dennis Drew served 9 years in prison, convicted of vehicular homicide for killing Christopher Stewart and Deanna Rivers. He got out of prison in 2023, but he was picked up and jailed on a parole violation back in April. Today, Drew admitted under oath that, he did violate conditions of his prison release by driving a car without an ignition interlock device. Judge Lorraine Diamond decided, though, that Drew has been locked up long enough, and today she set him free.
I'm very stunned right now. I mean, to say the word disappointed is can't carry that lightly in my mind right now. Very disappointed in the judge's decision. I think statutorily, like she said, I think her hands were kind of tied. But my problem with the whole proceeding is this is not a first-time offender. This is a 30-time, offender of everything, and it just continues to tip the hand his way. That's what has me aggravated today.
I still do believe in the rule of law. I believe the rule of law has been misinterpreted here. And the tragic result is that we as a community are still wondering what he may do next.
Karen Hagan says today's ruling from that judge cannot be appealed. Rachel.
Thank you. Today, the man accused of setting his pit bull on fire in an Albany parking lot rejected a plea deal in court. News Channel 13 was there as Christopher Maxwell faced the judge in Albany County Court. Under the offer on the table, Maxwell would have pleaded guilty to spend 1 1/3 to 4 years in prison. Investigators say he starved his pit bull before lighting it on fire while the animal was in the crate that you see there. Maxwell is facing charges of aggravated animal cruelty and evidence tampering. Well, it's official. The Belmont is going to be back at Saratoga in 2026. Today, New York Governor Kathy Hochul and NYRA confirm what News Channel 13 first told you last month. This year's Belmont Racing Festival not going to be the last, held at the historic Saratoga Racecourse. They say this will allow for the on-time and uninterrupted construction of the new Belmont Park in Belmont, New York, on Long Island. New at 5, Saratoga County Chamber of Commerce President Todd Shimkus weighing in, saying it's been an honor for the local and regional community to help host the Belmont Stakes, and they're excited to do it again one last time. Shimkus goes on to say they're already working on plans for next year's Belmont on Broadway kickoff concert. New at 5, a man from Albany could spend up to 18 years in state prison after a violent slashing almost turned deadly. The Albany County District Attorney's Office says Olihande Rouse was sentenced today after pleading guilty to assault. They tell us back in March he got into an argument with another man, and they say that argument turned violent as Rouse pulled out a razor blade and sliced the victim in the head, face, and neck. The DA's office says the victim needed immediate medical attention and was in the hospital for a lengthy period of time. They tell us Rouse tried to run away but was caught by an Albany police officer not long after. Former Albany Empire owner Antonio Brown now wanted by law enforcement in Florida on a charge of attempted murder. This is according to the Washington Post. Crystal Stone with Big Board Sports broke this news last night live at 11. The former NFL superstar wide receiver was allegedly involved in a shooting during a celebrity boxing event in Miami last month. In a video posted on social media, Brown was seen fighting with several people at the event. Gunshots were reportedly heard after the altercation before he was detained by police. So we'll keep you updated on that story. Well, there's going to be a parade to honor the American flag in the Spa City this weekend. The Saratoga Wilton Elks Lodge Flag Day Parade is taking place on Broadway in downtown Saratoga tomorrow. Starts at noon, and it's going to run from Route 50 to Congress Park. After the parade, there's going to be a picnic and a celebration of the Army's 250th birthday at the lodge. The Grand Marshal is this year's 100-year-old World War II Army veteran Manuel Manny Ballestero. There's also going to be a celebration of the red, white, and blue during a cherished Columbia County tradition this weekend, the 30th annual Hudson Flag Day Parade happening tomorrow. Celebration begins at noon at the waterfront. There's going to be several food vendors and activities for the kids. That parade starts at 4 in the afternoon at the 7th Street Park. It's going to march down Warren Street before wrapping up at Henry Hudson Riverfront Park for a family-friendly festival. And with Father's Day on Sunday, are you looking for something fun to do with your dad this weekend? You're going to want to check out a popular ride returning to the Berkshires. The Berkshire Carousel set to open tomorrow. Opening day offering free rides all day long. You can check out the new patio area with picnic tables while enjoying food, drinks, ice cream, music. And on Father's Day, bring your dad for a buy one ride, get one free deal. Good deal. And we're all hoping for good weather.
Yeah.
That little bit of rain, though, on Saturday.
Yeah, in the morning especially. I think a good chunk of the weekend's going to be dry,
Good.
especially on Father's Day. We can't rule out a passing shower, but I wouldn't let that change your plans. In fact, the pool forecast for this evening looks okay. A little on the cool side thanks to the cloud cover, but it's not going to rain. Temperatures sliding back through the 60s through the late afternoon and now early evening hours. We got some sunshine out there, enough to pop us over the 70-degree mark in downtown Albany here on the CDPHP first warning cam. It's 72. Officially in Albany at the airport, 71. Kinderhook is 73. And speaking of Pittsfield, right at 72. Some 60s showing up at Ballston Spa and Glens Falls, westbound into the Adirondacks, and Cobleskill even 68. So for this time of year, about 10 degrees below normal, thanks to that thicker cloud cover that moved in this morning. We haven't had a lot in the way of rain, and this has been the theme, right? We've talked about it from earlier in the week that we'd have these little waves of low pressure. We'd get some cloud buildup, but only a couple of sprinkles or two. And that's what we've seen so far today, but not a whole lot going on locally on the first warning live Doppler. The wider shot shows a few sprinkles here in the Pioneer Valley, but back out to the west, more cloud cover. And I think gradually, with this wave of low pressure tracking off the coast and the next one coming in from the west, the convergence along this front will lead to a steadier area of showers tonight, which will linger into tomorrow morning. But I think a good chunk of tomorrow after mid-morning will be dry. Then farther out to the west, it looks like another area of low pressure will move through, and that's why we have a couple sprinkles around for Sunday. Meantime, temperatures, look at this, 10, 15, even 18 degrees colder right now in Glens Falls than it was this time yesterday. So a little bit on the cooler side, and with a lower starting point, I think it'll more easily get back into the 50s tonight. Notice the best chance of showers happening as the sun comes up tomorrow, and it may be difficult to get the sun to come back in the afternoon. I think we will have some bright spots and breaks in the clouds, but that will only allow us to get into the high 60s to near 70 again. So the hour-by-hour forecast showing the cloud buildup tonight. Notice around midnight, we start to see these showers moving through, and this will persist overnight and into the sunrise hour on Saturday. So the best chance of rain tomorrow is when the sun comes up through the early morning, but don't write tomorrow off based on what you see if you get up this early, because the rest of the day will feature drier weather. Yeah, still a few showers around 10 a.m., but then by the time we get to lunchtime, you see this drier trend, maybe even some breaks of sun through 5, 6, 7 o'clock. So really not that bad of an afternoon. Sunday will also feature more clouds than sun, but notice hardly anything in the way of rain. So back down to 56 tonight with scattered showers moving in late. Showers Saturday morning, drier in the afternoon, some breaks of sun to get us up to 70 tomorrow. Sunday, mostly dry, but also mostly cloudy. We've dropped the percent chance of rain down to 20%. That means there's an 80% chance that it's just going to be dry everywhere. Monday, more sunshine, 74. Then summer-like 80s with higher humidity. You'll feel it Wednesday and especially Thursday. And you can see the chance of thunderstorms goes up by Thursday afternoon to 50%.
I love that summer's here. Yes,
Feels good,
yeah. The humidity feels like summer, finally. Right. Thank you so much, Paul. And thank you so much for joining us.
We'll see you here, YouTube, back at 6 o'clock.